so I'm going to shoot this video before everybody wakes up and it gets a little chaotic in the house. When it comes to immune boosting, fighting the common cold, sniffles, cough, kind of thing like that, a lot of people reach for elderberry syrup because it's a lot easier in taste to consume to do a great job. However, what if I were to tell you that there was a second option, an option just as equally beneficial as elderberry syrup? We're talking fire cider. Fire cider is a bit harder for people to consume because of how potent the taste really is, but it contains the same qualities as elderberry syrup with a little bit more. Would that be something that you'd be willing to try? Well, you guys, we're going to talk about that today. We're going to show how to make it, and the recipe, the full recipe, can be found on my website, and I will put that in the descriptions for you. Before we get started, why don't you guys go back and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We release videos every Monday or Tuesday, and you guys will get caught up in all the items that we preserve, put up, plant in the garden, as well as what we do outside on the property for homesteading purposes to live a sustainable life. So what makes it immune boosting? Well, let's just start with the 6 items that goes into it. Fire cider is made with these 6 basic items. Anything that's added to it just increases the value of what it actually does. The 6 items are apple cider vinegar, onions, horseradish, spicy pepper, ginger, and garlic. If you only make it with those 6 items, then you're on the track to being just creating something just as powerful and as amazing as elderberry syrup. But what we like to do is go ahead and add other medicinal items to it to continue and amplify the effects of it, like rosehip for an increasing amount of vitamin C that goes into it, rosemary, astragalus. Those are some items that you can actually continue to add to it. No fire cider recipe is actually the same unless they're making a base recipe. And on my website, you're gonna see both the base recipe as well as other items that we add to it. So we're gonna break it down as we're making it, what each proponent in the fire cider creates for you. But then I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how to consume it to make it a lot easier for you while continuing to boost your immune system. So if you have younger children, honestly, I would move forward with taking the elderberry syrup. If you are, older and you like that little drinking vinegar tang bite taste, move forward with taking the fire cider. I've actually talked to someone who actually takes both. They double up. I don't know how they do it or, why they would want to do it, but they take shots of both elderberry syrup and fire cider together. Is it doing any harm? Absolutely not. But it's just 2 different flavors, completely 2 different flavors. So not only will we give you the fire cider recipe, I'm going to put in the descriptions a link for an elderberry syrup recipe as well too. So make sure you take a look at that. Horseradish is going to be your first ingredient. It helps to soothe cough and other respiratory conditions. So onions is the next ingredient. They are an antioxidant and contain antibacterial qualities necessary for fighting colds, coughs, and sniffles. Spicy peppers such as jalapenos, habaneros, and serranos keeps the body warm as it's fighting off any type of viral bacteria that enters the body. Garlic is a great immune boosting item and should be added to everything. It contains antibacterial and antiviral qualities, excellent for a recipe like this. Ginger is a key component to this recipe. It helps with digestion, respiratory issues, and it also works as an anti-inflammatory. Turmeric is one of the most medicinal herbs out there, and it should be added to every single recipe available. It is not only immune boosting, it helps to reduce inflammation as well. Lemon is added because it provides an extra little bit of vitamin C and also aids in digestion. For extra vitamin C, I go ahead and add the natural highest vitamin C you can consume, and I go ahead and throw in the peels of the lemon as well too. The very last item we're going to add is raw unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. It is not only immune boosting, but a great probiotic. Once all the ingredients have been added, I like to muddle everything down underneath the apple cider vinegar, helping to release all the bubbles. Black pepper has a lot of qualities, but for this recipe, it's to soothe respiratory issues. So if you're not one to take this as a straight shot, which many do, you can actually go across these health food bars across America and pay a hefty price for a little shot of fire cider. So it's pretty expensive because of the ingredients that go into it. But when you're making it yourself and you have most of the items in your garden, the cost is just minimal, completely minimal for it, okay? So if you are not one to just head back, shoot it up, let me just tell you, you can add it, create a salad dressing for it. You can marinate your meat with it. You can just add it as a food item as a whole. It makes great drizzling sauces for sauteed vegetables. So there are options for consuming it if you are just not one of those head back kind of people and just downing it. But if you love, like I said, drinking vinegar, shrubs, I'll post a couple of shrub recipes on the bottom as well too in the descriptions. If you like the drinking vinegar, then you're gonna love the fire cider. And it only takes time to make it because there's a lot of chopping that goes involved in it. But I'm gonna tell you, it is definitely worth trying. Definitely worth trying. This recipe is also in my book, The Farm Girl's Guide to Preserving the Harvest. And you should grab a copy of my book, just because it's a really good book and it's going to help you get through preserving food as a sustainable homesteader would.